So in today's video, we're going to be looking at the Nash Power Barrow. So before we actually get into the proper review, Curly did manage to get hold of one of these a couple of years back and took it to Glastonbury. So here's a few clips from that, and then we'll crack on with the review. There's no denying that this is a luxury product, and with luxury products obviously come luxury prices. So it's not cheap. The Evo model, which I've actually got with me today, is $899.99, and the Metro model, which is slightly cheaper, is $849.99. Now, like I say, it's not a cheap item, but it does make getting to your swim a hell of a lot easier. Let's check it out. Okay, so you'd be pleased to know that setting up this barrow is just as simple as the operation. So I'm just going to walk you through it quickly. Obviously it looks like there's a lot of parts at the moment, but it will soon come together. So first things first is to pick up the barrow and just put the back legs back. Now there's a little popper, a little clip just on this side, and that locks the legs into place. So once you've done that, it's a case of attaching the back wheels or the back legs if that's what you choose to use. So again, just slide them in place, and then there's another one of these clips. Now it's worth noting that on the back wheels you've actually got 5 holes, so you can have it at whatever height suits you. Obviously for me, being short, I'm going to have it at the shortest possible level. So slide that right in, and then you can just clip it into place like so. Once you've done that, I'm going to move on to the front wheel, which again just slots nicely into place, and then there's a couple of screws just once you've slid it in. So that just slides in like so, and then you've got 2 thumb screws just underneath, one either side, and then again that's locked nicely in place. Open up the different arms in the front, and then you can open up the battery compartment. Okay, so once you've attached the wheel, there is one little lead that you just need to slide through from the back, and then there's a nice little cover here. Slide that through, and then grab the battery pack. Obviously if it is snowing where you are, then you want to remove the snow. There you go. And then the battery pack just slots into place in this little pouch in the middle here. Once that's in place, you've got a red and a white connection. A red and a black connection. Black goes on the black one, and then the red just on the red one here. Once that's in place, you've got one more connection to make, which is what we've just passed through the little gap in the pocket, and there's a couple of arrows just in place which you just need to line up and then clip in place. So here you go, that is the battery part all sorted, and then you can close the cover and click that back. You then want to add the arms, or the handles. Again, slide this in place, screw up the little screws that are either side. So there's a little hole either side of the handle which this just screws into. So again, it stops any movement. Once that's screwed in, you've got one more connection to make, and again you've got handy little arrows either side of the connection which will help you slot that into place. And then that is all your basic setup. Obviously you've got the optional accessories if you want to use them, they do come with it. And again, this all just slides into place. So you've got the big bag at the back which slides down, and there's actually a metal bar that runs all the way around this bag, so it holds it in place, it's not going to fall through. And then you've got a couple of Velcro straps at the back. Again, with these front pockets, they simply slide either side of the wheel with the metal surround. Slide that into place. And the other one. slides down like that, and then you've got a couple of Velcro bits on the front as well to keep that in place. And then that's pretty much it, you're good to go. You've obviously got the optional rod rest as well if you wanted to use that, and then that simply slides in the back here. Slide that all the way through, and then you can just screw that into place and you're ready to go. Simple as that, a couple of minutes and you're on your way. So if you like this sort of content, then make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube and follow us on our various social media platforms such as Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. Okay, so obviously the setup was really simple and so is the operation. So this is going to be a really short clip because all you've got to do, press the red button, that turns it on, and then you've got a little lever here which you can hold down. Obviously I'm wheel spinning at the moment because it's quite snowy here, in case you haven't seen, but it's simply the case holding it down. The further you push it down, the quicker the barrow goes. So you can adjust the speed of it just by adjusting how much you push it down. So as you can see, you can do it quite slowly, or if you really want to get around the lake quickly because someone's heading towards the swim, then put it on full power and it will take you straight around. Obviously with the option of having the back wheels, it makes it nice and easy to manoeuvre, helps to increase stability a little bit as well. But if you want a little bit more flexibility, you can have just the back legs on, pick it up like a normal barrow and then direct it exactly how you want to. So where does all this power actually come from? Obviously when I set up the barrow, I showed you the little battery pack which goes into the central chamber, and within that battery pack there's actually 2 individual batteries. Now these are both 12-volt batteries and they only take about 4 hours to fully charge. Now when it comes to battery life, it's hard to give an exact science on how long this will last. However, when Nash tested it, they put 80 kilos onto the barrow and then drove it for 5 miles. So that'll give you some sort of gauge. Obviously a lot depends on the actual weight you've got on the barrow, the terrain that you're going over as well, whether it's uphill, whether it's very bumpy, but as a guide, 80 kilos over 5 miles. Now, that's not the limit, that's not the weight limit at all. It can actually take up to 110 kilos, which if you're taking 110 kilos fishing, you should probably start scaling down a little bit. Now this is all powered actually by a 150 watt motor which is built into the front wheel. So the combination of 2 powerful batteries and a powerful motor, it means that you are going to get to your swim of choice with absolute ease. So with any barrow, obviously weight distribution is key, and that's where Nash have really thought about this. The battery pack is directly over the wheel, so you don't feel any of the weight of the batteries. So you can pick it up, it's nice and light, and you actually notice that the design of the barrow is angled slightly forward, so or slightly downwards at the front. This means that obviously weight distribution is even easier. You're going to have all your heavy items at the front, and then that's all going to be sitting on the front wheel. Now with the back wheels you don't need to worry so much with that because you haven't got to worry about actually lifting it, but if you're using the back legs instead, then if all the weight's over the front wheel, it makes it nice and easy, and then you've got that powerful 150 watt motor actually in the front wheel to propel you forward. So nice and simple. It's a well thought out design and it just works. So as I mentioned in the intro, obviously there are a couple of different models available. The one I've got with me here is the Trax Evo, but there is also the Trax Metro as well. So it depends if you want that little bit more support, because the main difference is on the Evo, you've got these side supports and you've got the rear rod support. On the Metro, you don't get that. You still get the front support, so it will stop anything sliding forwards, but if you prefer the stability or security of having a bit more support either side in case you're going over really rough terrain and you don't want that risk of anything falling off the sides, then it's really useful. If you're used to flipping a bed chair over and just having the legs up, then the Metro will save you a little bit of money, and then you just won't have the side supports or, like I say, the rod support either. Okay, so that is the Nash Power Barrows pretty much summed up. Now, if you like this sort of content, obviously make sure you like and subscribe to us on YouTube and other various social media platforms such as Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. If you want to find out more information about the barrow, obviously head over to the Nash Tackle website. But for now, thanks for watching and I'll see you again soon.